What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through politics so you don't drown too. I am just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. So, I see the stories on my radar because there's a lot of things I cover. I try to be cover a variety of things. I try to mix it up here and there. Sometimes I'll find something interesting and I'll talk about it. I don't want to be a one trick pony on this channel. And with that said, let's talk about something that's happened in New York just recently because I find it quite interesting. So let's get right into it. Trans runner brags about obliterating female rivals at race while wearing faulty shoes. Now, this was on January 27th of this year, and this is a little bit backwards, but follow me on this so we can just get the story. Just like this ad at the top of the goddamn. Who would want an ad that you can't get rid of at the top of the screen like this? It just takes up the whole screen. This is almost as invasive as the LGBT HDTV committee, right? Like that cult. Nobody wants this here. Get out of here. Anyway, let's get it. A transgender athlete has bragged about being a group of biologically female athletes despite wearing running shoes. And you can see the ad is just slowly creeping up, right? With the spikes about to come off. Sadie Schreiner, whatever the hell you say it, whatever, formerly known as Camden, stormed to victory at a college track and field meet over the weekend, leaving the closest female runner in their wake. Following their win, Schreiner took to their Instagram where they boasted about the win. I think it's kind of crazy when you got these media outlets playing the pronoun game because they're afraid of being of getting probably they're probably afraid of being hounded by these groups of people. And this is the craziest thing, right? Society is so weak that we, by us being polite, they use that against us. They use that against the general population to get what they want. We don't want to offend so badly, we bend over backwards and fall on our spines to make these people who are never okay with anything in this world, unless it goes their way, comfortable. How many times have we ran stories or you seen stories in the media where either they're lying about the person's sex, or they'll sit there and they consistently play the pronoun game, even though this person done killed a bunch of people. Then they try to say, oh, even though the shooter was trans, um, it's so disrespectful to ring their name. It's like, bro, who cares? You think I care? Listen, you think I care about playing reality bending with these people? You think I especially care after they done killed people? Come on now. Not the race I was looking for at all this week. My spikes nearly fell off on the turn, and with a poor start, my time wasn't nearly what I wanted. The good news is that the season just started, and I'm going to leave everything on the track at Nationals. Sharina's win is only the latest incidence of a growing number of transgender athletes finding success in women's sports. As experts warn, they hold an unfair physical advantage due to the effects of male puberty. Her win drew backlash from such a tennis legend, Martina Navratilova, who has been vocal about her views on transgender people participating in sports. You know, it's funny because there's this thing where they tried to boast up Serena Williams, and Serena Williams is bad at tennis. Let's separate her fucking her life, her choices of doing stupid shit on a national stage when it comes down to crip walking. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about her ability as a tennis player. Serena Williams is one of the best, if not the best, female tennis player probably of all time. I know that she's fucking up there. And they tried to they one time they spoke to a guy. I think he was like in the top 50, top 30 of males of tennis players of all time, and they tried to say basically that Serena Williams could beat him. And he said, even in my off time, even as a retiree, I believe he said that she wouldn't be able to match me. And they was like, oh, you got to take that back. And he goes, no, I'm not taking that back. He's like, I'm not, because it's the truth, and she knows that too. So then they tried to bring Serena Williams into this. And this, I'm guessing this is either she's always been like that, realistic in that sense, that she even said it. She was like, "Look, I'm very powerful. That's the way I play. I'm very strong for a woman. Against men, it is a different beast altogether." And they were upset because Serena Williams wasn't playing that bullshit with them. They wanted her to get out there and be upset, and that's not the case. Anyway, Natarova, a strong advocate for LGBT rights. Irony, right? Irony. So you're an advocate for LGBT rights, but you're watching them destroy something you love so much. Now, not only are you watching them destroy what you love so much, you're also watching them destroy other branches of things that you love so much. Crazy. Advocate for LGBT plus rights have been consistently support rights has consistently supported transgender individuals and their right for equality and inclusion, but has also stated how she only wants biological women to participate in women's sports. So stunning, so brave. She tweeted with embarrassing and clown emojis. Look at this shit, boy. This shit ain't even close. What am I looking at? You know what's funny? This is what they think women look like. When they emulate women and they try to get fake breasts or they get implants or fake ass injections or whatever the hell it is or the fucking lips, this is what they think women look like. This is the Kardashians version of beauty, where you're not ugly, you're just broke. That's that shallow mindedness that a lot of women and low quality women fall for. This is what they emulate because they think this is what a woman is. In 2023, she sided with World Athletics for pushing a policy omitting transgender female athletes from internationally recognized women competitions, calling it a step in the right direction. In the wake of World Athletics' announcement, I think the best idea would be to have biological female and biological girl categories and then an open category, she wrote. We've been saying this for years. They even did this. They refuse to participate in these kind of things because they know if they compete again, if a transgender shows up, somebody's dad's gonna show up and embarrass them, and that's what they're afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. You're gonna see dudes come in. They're gonna beat the person who's been breaking all these fucking records, and they're gonna give the medal to their daughters. That's what real men do, and it's crazy that men have to keep stepping up when we gave power to women and women have taken, they're just sitting there playing games, opening Pandora's box, leaving the back door open for all of this nonsense in the name of fake toxic tolerance. That's what you want? Because it already happened. Exactly what I just said. You had Zuby. Remember Zuby? Zuby showed up at a female powerlifting tournament where you had a transgender over there who was just collecting medals, I believe. I can't remember if it was exactly Zuby. There was a man who showed up, and the transgender female, the trans woman, was sitting there talking about he can't be here. He's not really trans because the dude popped up. He claimed he was trans the day of the tournament and broke all of their records. But he was doing it to spite the trans person. And he didn't hide that shit. This is what we're talking about. Again, women, you don't have to directly confront these type of individuals. You're all about that manipulation. You want to get away it hurts? Don't compete with these individuals. When the race starts, all you girls, you get on your marks and you just stand up. Let them run on their own. Let them walk. Let them run looking stupid by themselves, looking like a fucking jackass. We've been telling women this is how you do it. And I guarantee you, the dads, the moms, the women who want to be mothers and believe in family values, the young men who want to see women succeed, right? They're going to be cheering the loudest pop you women probably will ever get in your lives for standing up for the right thing. You know who's going to be mad at you? The activists, the cat ladies, the ladies who sit there and they hate men. Believe it or not, because they all get programmed to follow the same things. The ones who claim that they just want to be the trans people who sit there and claim that they just want to be accepted and they just want to be they don't want to take up space. Those are the ones that's going to be sending you death threats. Those are the ones, the tolerant are going to be the ones that are going to show how intolerant they are for you standing up for your existence. Your existence. The ones who claim that they care that their existence is being erased, and the only way their existence can be the only way that their existence can be validated is by erasing you, by erasing women. All right. Other users were also quick to criticize Schrodinger's gloating. Imagine being a man flexing about beating female athletes. Wrote, what did he name? Margot Bryan. To some people, sports is their life, and these people ruin it for them, stated Napuka. Congrats, dude. You beat a bunch of women. What an accomplishment. Mock another poster. Proud of you for beating women who are a foot shorter, 60 pounds lighter, and with a 2 foot smaller stride and half the muscle mass. Yo, that shit sound crazy, dog. That shit sound crazy. That shit sound absolutely fucking crazy. This reminds me a long time ago, I believe on my first channel, there was a trans person who was doing in New York. Of course, it is a trans. There was a trans skateboarder who participated in a female skateboarding thing, and Red Bull put them on a video, and the video got downvoted to fucking hell. And I had all these people jumping the messages talking about you don't know nothing about sports because actually the kids are much more better than adults when it comes down to rotation. I'm like, listen, dog, kids may be able to spin a little bit better because they're much more smaller, but a person like Tony Hawk in his fucking prime is beating a fucking kid because they have more ability to do torque. They can spin harder than little fucking kids. Hate to break it to you. And then on top of that, we're talking about women. We're talking about women. We're talking about the we're talking about in terms of physical prowess, right? Having less ability to make torque because they're not fucking men. So when you have a boy or a young man who's a skateboarder, he's gonna have way more advantage over these individuals, and a lot of them are kids. Anyway, Sharina, who is from Hillsbury, New York, New Jersey, who specializes in 200 to 400 meter races, is currently competing for the Rochester Institute of Technology (RIT) and NCAA Division III tracks and field events, while also pursuing a degree in photography. In 2022, Sharina was competing in the men's category. Yeah, I wonder where they placed of the 100 meter and finished in 19th place. But now, since entering as a woman, placed far higher. Heart sign. Get the fuck, man. Sharina has been an advocate for transgender inclusion in sports. Last November, in an interview with CNN, they addressed the challenges and backlash faced by transgender athletes, emphasized by importance of understanding and support. Earlier this month, Sharina shared I'm not saying her, their experiences in the NCAA transfer portal, highlighting difficulties in transferring to Division I programs because of their transgender identity. Despite interest from several shoots, they noted that concerns about a potential backlash had led to hesitation from schools in extending offers to them. But they may have to lower their expectations, particularly with our goddamn president, Donald Trump, say his name, now in charge, who has stated how he will take action to keep men out of women's sports. Many have blamed Democrats' support for transgender inclusion for Kamala Harris' election loss to Trump. Transgender rights have become a political hot button in recent years. Republicans at all levels campaigned on the issue in November's election, with particular focus on transgender women participating in school sports. Trump pledged during his campaign to restrict gender-affirming care and transgender sports participation. Millions were spent on advertising that turned something that in reality affects a tiny minority of competitors into a wedge issue. Look at this absolute unit, dude, and then just say, yo, I'm a woman, long hair. Look at the crimson chin on that damn thing. Ain't no way. Look at man, ain't no way, dog. The NCAA, for example, does not track data on transgender athletes among the 544,000 currently competing on 19,000 teams at various levels across the country. Through NCAA President Charlie Baker testified in Congress last week that he was aware of less than 10 active NCAA athletes who identified as transgender. Trump ramped up the rhetoric as Election Day approached, telling the crowd at a Madison Square Garden rally in October, "We will get transgender insanity the hell out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports." And that was in New York. Trump has also said he would cut federal funding to any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. Under the first Trump administration, the government interpreted sex as a gender somebody was assigned at birth, and it appears the same is true in the Trump 2.0. The Biden administration chose to interpret sex as gender identity under the title, I don't know what Roman numeral that is, which should be interpreted, I think that's 5? No, that's not, is that 5? What is 1x in Roman numerals? Now I'm interested. What is that? What is that? Let's see. What is 1x? 1x Roman numeral. What is that? Is that 6? Oh, that's 9. Okay. I wasn't even close. Uh, Under Title IX, which could be interpreted to protect trans athletes from being discriminated against if they wanted to participate in a sport that aligned with their gender identity. Wow, bro. So you mean to protect somebody, you got to destroy somebody else? Crazy. Not their sex assigned at birth. The NCAA established a policy in 2010 that requires trans athletes who were assigned male at birth to complete at least 1 year of testosterone suppression therapy before being eligible to compete on a women's team. Bro, that shit, it doesn't even matter at that point because they already hit puberty. Men and women are very different past the age of like 12, 13, right? Because even if growing up, a boy who got his ass beat by a girl, right? Or whenever they play fight, she was always able to beat him. Once they hit puberty, that girl is not beating that boy unless that boy either is just he just genetically lost at all traits in the lottery, or he's letting that girl win. That's just the truth. If he ain't got that dog in him 100% and he's just letting her hit him, that's something completely different. But unless he genetically just doesn't have any traits whatsoever, more bone density, bigger limbs, more muscle. What? Just by the hands alone, dog. What are we talking about? Trans athletes who were assigned female at birth and transition to male can compete on a men's team, but if they receive testosterone treatment, are ineligible to compete on a women's team. In 2022, the NCAA revised the policy in which the organization called an attempt to be aligned with national sports governing bodies. And again, I want you guys to understand this. You never hear about trans men doing this shit and going into men's sports because they know they will get bodied. They would get bodied. It is always the trans women every single time. I remember one time somebody tried to come on my old channel and it was like, oh, well, this is bullshit because when it comes down to wrestling, I have a trans, what do you say? I have a trans, what was it? A trans male cousin or some bullshit who wins records X, Y, and Z and they dominate the boys. And I was like, okay, what's their name? They dominate the field. What's their fucking name? That person was not be able to comment again. That person did not comment again. I wonder why. Because it's full. They were full of shit. You boasting X, Y, and Z about this person, this imaginary person, but you can't bring up their fucking name. If they're that fucking good at what they do, their name should pop up real quick. Because this will go for your argument, right? A female who's supposedly trying to be a boy, whooping boys' ass, would have to be an anomaly, would have to be phenomenal in skill, because it ain't going to be in strength unless she's a wildebeest. But you can't say a name. You can pop all that shit And then you got the dick riding, click riding, whatever. You got the likes that they had. And I remember this comment, and all I said to them was, okay, what's their name? No comments. Just completely just going right. So why does this old story? Because that was an old story. Why did I bring up that old story? Is to give you guys a picture of where we are right now. Because transgender athlete competes alone after girls abandon race in New York. It is about goddamn time, ladies. When women deserve their roses, you give them their roses. When women do good, we congratulate them. Hell yeah, women, get your power back. Let's get it. The male athlete also competed in a different race and defeated 4 teenage girls. If they raced them, they're idiots. Or maybe that was the wake up call. Maybe these girls had no real idea, wasn't paying attention. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe that event right there made them say, fuck this. We're not doing this. We're not going to sit here and watch this man take our goddamn accolades, take our goddamn rewards for our hard work. We're not doing. That's probably what this was. Either way, I'm proud of you ladies. Whoever you ladies are, I'm proud of you because it takes only a spark. It takes only a spark to make a wildfire. I hope you ladies are the spark. A transgender athlete who has broken women's records for years competed alone in a 400-meter race on Saturday. Camden Schreiner, who goes by Sadie, placed first in the USA Track and Field Open Masters Championship in the women's 400-meter dash in Staten Island, New York. Of course it is. Records show that the other competitors in the event was listed as DNS, which is do. What is DNS? Did not. What is DNS? See now, man. I know DNF, DNS. Yeah, what does that mean? Did not start. Okay, because I know there's one called did not finish. All right. DNS for I'm so mad I looked it up, and if I'd have just kept reading, it would have said, you know what, fuck you guys. For did not start. Both of the girls who did not start was teens 16 and 17, while Sharena is 21 years old. Sharena did get a chance to compete in a women's 200-meter dash. However, and according to the race results, won first place against several teenage girls. I like what the Blaze is doing. The Blaze is not using the pronouns that the reality bender wants, and this makes it easier for me to read this. Sharena beat 5 teenagers ranging in age from 14 to 18 en route to victory. USATF policy allows men to compete in the women's category using the justification that they are in compliance with International Olympic Committee rules. The organization also said that certain medical benchmarks must be achieved for an athlete before an athlete can compete as the opposite gender for medals and prize money. And you know what you do, ladies? When you find these organizations that are on the higher echelon sitting there and they're playing by these stupid ass rules that are disrespectful to your sex, right? That are net negative to your sports related career, you stop competing. You stop competing. You compete in the ones that respect you. You don't compete in the ones that sit there and they allow men under any circumstances to play. Do you know there's actually an advantage to men playing pool against women? Pool, where you're hitting balls with a stick. There's actually a difference. Do you know men still have an advantage in a game like pool? Again, boy, do you know there's an advantage to men playing online video games compared to women? Do you know that? There's a reason why we don't see females dominate male like video games. Not that there's not special women out there that can do very well, but it's not something very often. So whatever, dude. And you sit there and go, well, how? They both got a controller, right? It would be based on skill. Men still have more twitch muscle fibers in their hands. We're just quicker. This is physical. This is between the two sexes. We're just superior. That's just how it is when it comes down to physical attributes. It's just how it is. The policy added. I'm sorry. The policy added the intent of this policy is to establish competitive eligibility to help ensure field competition. The policy also contains safeguards to protect the privacy of any athletes making the request for eligibility. Yeah, sounds shady to me. Please stop this nonsense. Schroeder has made headlines for continuously breaking women's records over the past 2 years. In January 2024, Schroeder broke school records at the Rochester Institute of Technology in the women's 200 meter and 300 meter sprints. As reported by Blaze News, Schroeder broke more records in January 2025 at an interscholastic track and field event in New York called Brockport's Rockbuster. Competing against multiple universities, Sharona set facility records by winning the women's 200-meter dash in 24.50 seconds and the women's 400-meter dash in 55.91 seconds. The times were also program records according to RIT. Hold on. I'm going to just do something real quick. Men's, what is it? Okay. Rust Buster men's, what is it? Men's 400 meter, what was it? So it said 2025? 2025. What was the time? All right, so check this out. Check this out. So when you're racing, when these people are sprinting, right? When they're competing, sometimes, a lot of times, you see races go neck to neck, right? All right. Men's 400 times at the Rockbuster track Mets have included 48.09 seconds, 49.24 seconds, 49.85 seconds. So these are literally seconds later. This fucking thing is a 55.91. Not even goddamn close. Not even close. That's 5 seconds behind. Meaning this person, if they competed against other males, would not even be close. Anyway, the school later named Sharona Female Athlete of the Week, bro, for a mediocre dude. Who was the swimmer who was doing that? And Riley Gaines was going toe to toe with this idiot. What was his name? And they just stripped them of all of their medals. Dude standing over them looking like a goddamn dolphin. These girls over here looking like ants. This dude looking like a whole ass dolphin. Anyway, please stop this nonsense, said Ashley Keller, former track star at Colby Sawyer College. Keller expressed great displeasure at the state of women's athletics over the inclusion of men. Sharona's school and head track coach has fully supported him on his journey to displace women in their own athletics, noting him in his school bio as two-time All-American and Atlantic Region outdoor champion. The runner has also been rewarded with photo shoots and a full defense from the Washington Post. Yo, let's look at some of these comments. It's starting. Girls are beginning to fight back. Only they can save their sports. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's been plenty of men who have sat there and have been with these women every step of the goddamn way. Finally, you're listening to what we've been saying for a long goddamn time. We gave you multiple avenues to save your sport. Multiple. And you know who's fought us throughout the entire way? The activists, the most tolerant, the ones that you guys let in your sports. Because you don't see the thing is, let's say if men, let's say if there was another sex that tried to invade men's sports, men wouldn't allow that shit into their thing like women do with their open arms with that tolerant shit. We don't play that shit. And when we sat there, we told a lot of ladies, hey, this is not cool. What's the first thing that happens? Oh, you can't sit there and say that. You got to be accepting. You got to be... No, we don't do that. Good job, girls. Keep it up. Let this guy competing against you guys have all the trophies. For him, they are loser trophies. Yeah, it won't mean a goddamn thing. But the problem is, some of them don't care. Some of them just want women to suffer. And that's the reason why they taking on your goddamn likeness. They would wear your skin in a heartbeat. And if you don't believe me, you see them cutting off their own goddamn dicks. They would wear your skin in a heartbeat, ladies. It is not a joke. It is not a game. Where are all of the women that used to play sports? How would they feel when they were young, competing and doing well, and then out of the blue, a male comes up and says, I'm a girl, and they get to compete and take the trophy? Men are not females, plain and simple. Stop the stupidity. Men to men, women to women, nothing else. Boy, we even tried to be nice and give them their own division. They won't take it. They won't take it because they know. Again, this person has a 55.09 when the average score is goddamn 49 point like 30. That's 5 seconds behind, dog. Hell nah. Like even the listen, even the weakest male on the 400 track is still 5 seconds faster than this person. I don't understand where everyone is actually. From men being lauded on magazine covers to context podiums and everything in between, what the average female is seeing and hearing is that men are better than women. Is that men are better? I'm sorry. What the average female is seeing and hearing is that men are better women than them. So much for women's struggle with equal rights. Absolutely, and that's sad, right? Now, if you were to say, are men better than women? Yes. But are men better women? No. The fuck? We all got our pros and cons. What the shit? And it's the Democrat communists that are pushing this garbage after decades of claiming to be the champions of women. Now they cannot even define what a woman is. What a woman is. They are so done. No one wants to support a political party that is that dumb or lies that much. They are fake, just like this runner who's pretending to be something they are not. At least not in muscular build and strength. I like to know where the fathers of these high school girls are, and actually all real men. See, there we go again. Every single goddamn time. It blows my dick when I see these females who it's always men's fault for all of their struggles. But then you still got these females who they leave it to men to do every fucking thing. They leave it to men to do everything. Like they have no agency. Like they can't stop and do things for themselves. Now, don't granted, Sadie may be a decent woman. She may be a decent gal. But after men have been sitting there and been told, stay out of it. This ain't your business. Let women do what women want. No, why are you doing this? You're too violent. You're too dangerous. Your existence is harmful. When men are being told this consistently, when men are being told that they can't even sit there and say what goes on in their own household when they're fighting tooth and nail with the person who's supposed to be their partner consistently. What are they supposed to do? When men are allowed to be men, I'm not saying it's perfect. There's a lot of things men get wrong. That's why we need women. And again, that's why men and women need each other. The average dude is going to be more physical, more direct, more confrontational. The woman is supposed to be there to make sure that his mental stays safe and to make sure that he keeps in touch with intelligently with his emotional side, right? To make sure that she holds it down when he's not there, and for him to help her hold it down when she's going through her bullshit. Somewhere there's been a disconnect, but you can't expect men to do every fucking thing when you're not willing to fight your goddamn selves. That's really where it is. One more comment, two more comments, and we're done. No, one more comment. Where are the fathers, you ask? Well, for the last 4 years, the fathers that have spoken out mostly lost their jobs, their businesses, and any hope of a career or a promotion. No, that's been longer than 4 years, Playboy. But you're absolutely right. This is exactly what I just said. You're absolutely right. That's where the fathers have been. And then when they no longer have a job or can support their family, the loving wife divorces the guy. That's where the fathers have been. They've been censored, demoted, and fired, especially when they dare to speak out. What do you think this election was all about? That's why people are once again speaking out and taking a stand, as Trump is actually making a difference and giving traditional folks a chance to end the insanity. You know, it's actually funny, and I'm about to say something that might be like a Simon Sabi type shit, but I'm gonna just keep it above. We failed President Trump that first term. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say we have been such a polite society compared to our forefathers and the shit that those people were doing back in the days, we failed Trump. Again, Trump wants peace and law and order, and that's how we should have been, but we fucking failed. And I'm not sitting here saying go to the streets and start acting like the left and start breaking buildings down and all of this shit in the name of justice, no peace, and all that other propaganda communist bullshit. I'm saying at every level, we failed President Trump because no matter how hard President Trump can fight, if the people are not sitting there watching his six properly, it don't work. Them evangelicals, them dudes are fucking idiots. I'm sorry if you're religious and you don't like me saying it, but it's fucking true. You sit there and you put everything in the hands of fucking God. Meanwhile, you got people acting and pretending to be you guys in your marches. When was the last time you seen a Trump supporter in full black bloc paraphernalia? But if they got a Trump hat on with glasses and a goddamn mask, when was the last time you saw a Trump person wearing a mask, breaking windows? You knew damn well that wasn't no goddamn MAGA. And y'all sat there and y'all let those people walk right off. Again, I'm not religious, but if the Crusades was going down, just vote. I'd be, man, you don't even know. You guys don't even know. Anyway, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you guys next time. Be safe, better than being sorry. Peace.